Welcome back, friends, in English Made Easy by Neha.
Children don't just hear their parents fight. They quietly absorb it and carry it often for years. Welcome back. Today's episode is about something that happens in almost every home at some point. Parents arguing, sometimes loudly, in front of their children. I'll share a story today, then talk about what actually helps. Stay till the end, as always, for today's idioms explained simply. Rohit is 25 now, but he still remembers exactly what it felt like to be 9 years old. Lying in his room while his parents argued in the kitchen, their voices rising through the walls. He developed a small habit back then. The moment he heard raised voices, he'd quietly turn up the TV volume in his room as loud as he could without getting in trouble, just so he wouldn't have to hear the actual words being said. He never told anyone why he did this. His parents assumed he just liked watching TV loudly. Years later, at 25, during a quiet evening with his mother, Sunita, he finally told her the real reason. He said, "I used to turn the volume up so I wouldn't hear you and Papa fighting. I didn't want to hear the things you said to each other when you were angry." Sunita sat in stunned silence. She said, "I had no idea you could even hear us. We always thought we argued quietly enough. After you'd gone to your room," Rohit said, "you weren't quiet. I just got good at pretending I couldn't hear it." Sunita asked gently, "Did it affect you?" Growing up around that, Rohit thought for a moment, then said, "I think I grew up believing conflict meant something was breaking. So even now, in my own relationships, I avoid disagreements completely, even small ones, because some part of me still connects arguing with something falling apart." Sunita felt her heart sink. She said, "Your father and I loved each other, even during those arguments. We never meant for you to feel like everything was breaking." Rohit said, "I know that now as an adult, but as a 9-year-old, all I understood was the volume of your voices, not the love underneath it. Kids don't have the context adults have. We just feel what's loud and assume it's dangerous." Here's why witnessing parental conflict affects children as deeply as it does. Number 1, children don't have adult context for conflict. Adults often know an argument doesn't threaten the relationship. Children usually don't have that reassurance, unless it's explained to them directly. Number 2, children often blame themselves, even silently. Many children privately wonder if they caused the argument or if they could have prevented it, even when the conflict has nothing to do with them at all. Number 3, the way conflict is handled teaches children how relationships work long term. Children who never see conflict resolved calmly often grow up believing disagreement itself is dangerous, which can affect how they handle relationships as adults. Let me tell you about another family, Deepa and Manoj, parents of a 6-year-old daughter, Aisha. They used to argue the way many couples do, behind a closed door, but loud enough that Aisha often heard fragments of it. One day, after a particularly tense argument, Aisha asked quietly at dinner, "Are you and Papa going to separate?" Neither of them had said that word, but Aisha had absorbed enough fear from the tone of their voices to imagine it herself. That moment changed something for Deepa and Manoj. They didn't stop disagreeing, that wasn't realistic, but they changed how Aisha experienced it. They started doing something simple. After any disagreement, Even a small one of them would sit with Aisha and say, "Mama and Papa had a disagreement, the way people sometimes do. We're okay. We still love each other and we love you." Over time, Aisha stopped asking if they were separating. She started understanding that disagreement and love could exist in the same relationship without one threatening the other. So here's what actually helps children who witness conflict at home. 1. Reassure them afterward. Every time, even for small arguments. A simple, "we're okay, we still love each other," helps a child separate conflict from fear of separation. 2. Never make a child feel responsible for resolving or preventing your conflict. Avoid saying things like, "See what you made us argue about." This places adult conflict onto a child's shoulders. 3. Where possible, let children see resolution, not just disagreement. Even a simple, visible moment of making up, a hug, a calm conversation, teaches a child that conflict can end peacefully. 4. Ask directly if they've heard or worried about something. A simple, "Did our argument yesterday scare you?" opens space for a child to share fears they might otherwise hide silently. Now, today's phrases, one at a time. 1. Absorbed enough fear. This means quietly taking in an emotion over time, without necessarily expressing it outwardly. 2. Connects arguing with something falling apart. This means associating one thing, conflict, with another, a relationship ending, even when they aren't actually the same thing. 3. Placed onto a child's shoulders. This means putting responsibility or blame onto a child that isn't actually theirs to carry. For making up, this means resolving a disagreement and returning to warmth or affection after a conflict. 5. Fragments of it. This means small, incomplete pieces of something, like only overhearing parts of a conversation, not the whole thing. That's 5 for today. This week, if your child witnesses any disagreement at home, try one simple sentence afterward. "We're okay, and we still love each other." If this episode reminded you of your own childhood or your own home right now, try this today. After any disagreement, take a moment to reassure your child that things are okay. Tell me in the comments, did Rohit's story or Aisha's story hit closer to home for you? And if you have a memory of overhearing your parents argue as a child, share it below. It might become the next episode. See you in the next one.